What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. If you've been looking for messages from your angels, ancestors, guides, then I could have a message for you. Even if your guides could be something like unconventional, like a fictional character or a dinosaur, I think we can gain knowledge from all aspects of creation. I don't think we're limited to just this physical realm. That's kind of why people like Uncle Iroh give us such deep, profound truths that we cherish to this day. If you're looking for a one-on-one reading, then you can directly message me or do so by booking with the link in the bio. The first reading is $20. I'll pull and see whatever comes out, or you can ask as many questions as you want within the 20-minute time frame. And if it doesn't resonate, then I'll simply refund you. That being said, let's hop right in. I like this shirt a lot, but the buttons come undone. I feel like I'm an undressed. I feel like that trope where anime girls just get undressed nonstop for no good reason. I'm just chilling, and then my shirt just goes pop open. But I feel like an underage anime girl. So first we have Well, which is family wishes coming true. We have Club with someone will try to make you do something against your will. And then we have Hand, in need of help, assistance, or guidance. I always say how much I really like the tea leaf cards because they're very direct, and I mean they're easy to expand on, and they give you pretty quick messages. So maybe some people are here just for that couple minutes where they just need a confirmation of something, and that could be your message. But let's dive into the bigger one now. So let's start with the one that's ominous and kind of not able to really be seen. Oh, well, the card flipped out. So whatever it is, the energy of whoever's trying to make you do something against your will or something that you're not wanting to do, then I think you might be aware of who they are, or they're going to be exposed very soon. The Sun card usually pops up when when there's about to be something that's shining in the light, that's something that's out in the open and bare. Whereas the moon usually points towards things being hidden, the sun points towards illumination of those things. So whatever it is, I don't think it's going to last long. So I think it's going to be something that's going to be exploiting. Oh, that's so crazy. And then we have the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Oh my god, that's so cool. So it's going to be something along the lines of somebody trying to prey on your emotions in order to make you give something that you don't want. The Six of Pentacles many times has the energy of overgiving, of being too generous with your time and your energy, or even sometimes physical resources. So I think whoever or whatever this scenario is, it's they're going to be preying on your emotions and trying to basically coerce you into giving something that you, maybe it's your last, maybe it's money, maybe it's just something, some kind of resource or some kind, or maybe it's even time or attention. But in one way, shape, and form, I feel like you might be privy or aware of it before it happens. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to sneak up on you. I feel like sometimes, and yes, the whole thing comes of where we create our reality and the people in it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but people are still going to be fucking people, and people still show up in our reality to a certain degree with free will. So I think these are important signs to be mindful of navigating through whatever situation that you're about to embark on with another person, especially if you've been feeling really odd signs from them. Because the Queen of Cups is also about intuition and honoring that. Alright, let's see what else comes out. Oh, there's a card that's actually upside down. Oh, never mind, there's a handful. If it's too many, I never like to pull them if it's more than 2 or 3 cards. I'm not trying to read the whole deck now. And then we have which one is this? The Hierophant. So maybe that's gearing more towards the family aspect, since the Hierophant has a lot to do with tradition and stuff like that. So let's see what that's about. Okay, cool. So in some way, shape, and form, maybe there's an era or some kind of thing that is ending within your family. It could be some kind of period that you guys might have been going through together. Maybe you guys were collectively going through some kind of struggle or difficulty or something along those lines. But then with the Ten of Swords, it usually points towards that turning around and that switching and that shifting. So I'd like to think that, yeah, maybe the past, couple, however many months or however many time or how much time you've gone through might have been difficult, but it usually points towards, in that exact same breath, that period ending and then something new beginning. And then we have the Page of Swords. So I think in some way, shape, and form, there's going to be something that you're learning, some kind of knowledge, some kind of information that's coming across to you in some way, shape, and form that's going to be aiding you on your journey. That's okay, cool. So maybe you are going through an ending, right? Maybe you're going through some kind of transitional period, and maybe there is some kind of energy that is, it's because of the transition or because of the nature of what this change was, it's been very difficult. It's been very conflict heavy. And sometimes when we're going through big changes, even as a group, even as a family, even if we're moving or something like that, it can cause a lot of stress on individuals and cause a lot of conflict and tension where there might not normally be. So maybe we are heading out of that energy. And then with the Page of Swords, I'd like to think that maybe we're also being called to maybe approaching whatever conflicts there could be or whatever difficulties there are with an open mind and an open perspective and a willingness to maybe see the other perspective or be open to seeing something from another point of view. And then with the Nine of Wands, so yeah, maybe there's like some kind of conflict or something like that that needs to be resolved or something along those lines. And maybe it's almost like the energy of somebody within this conflict. It's like almost blocking energy off, almost like having a wall up and not being able to kind of connect to other individuals. So a lot of times when the Nine of Wands comes up, it's like the Wounded Warrior card. So maybe there's been some conflicts or difficulties because of somebody who's had a lot of trauma, a lot of painful times, and maybe they're having like this wall up. That, or maybe even this is like your overall family, or maybe you guys are just exhausted through the collective difficulties that you guys have gone through, and it's kind of like one of those things like where you guys are like at the finish line of whatever era or whatever you're about to embark on through. Maybe you guys just recently lost somebody. Maybe it's one of those things like where you guys collectively had to deal with like a lot of grief or a lot of difficulties during whatever transition. So I'd like to think that you guys are on your final stretch. It might be difficult. And then a lot of times when we're all collectively going through heavy things, sometimes then of course more conflicts come up. So more arguments come up, more difficulties within the family dynamics can then start to pop up because of the fact that we're under such deep amounts of stress and difficulties that are kind of pushing us past what our limits are sometimes. So I'd like to think that maybe this energy is all of you guys collectively being tired and exhausted and doing the best that you can to kind of maybe navigate through whatever era that is. And I don't think it's going to stay that way. I don't think it's going to continue to be that way forever. I think it's just the era that you are in, and I think that will be changing over time. And I think in addition to that, and this is part of, and maybe it's the energy of, because of the fact that there's a family member who's going to, and this could be again a different scenario. Maybe it's because of the fact that there's a family member who's going to ask you for something that you do not want to give up, or maybe there's like a family member who's going to take advantage of the fact that you like, because part of the reading mentioned something along the lines of somebody asking you to do something against your free will. So maybe it's a family member that's going to ask you to do such, and maybe that's what the reading is about. It's like the conflict, the energy, and the negativity that's going to be associated with maybe even trying to respond to having to deal with that paradigm. So maybe somebody's going to ask you something that you're not necessarily comfortable with. Maybe they're a family member and they're trying to take advantage of the connection that you guys have in order to pretty much take advantage of it, or advantage of you. I'm sorry. And then in which case maybe you're being called to have walls up, or to kind of be defensive, or to kind of like be wary and kind of like, be a little bit apprehensive and cautious with whatever energy you're putting out. I think it's either one of those scenarios, but either way, the advice is still the same, which is tread with caution, be very mindful of how you approach it. And with the Page of Swords, I'd like to think it's being very, like, instead of just jumping in, it's like being calm, curious, and trying your best to detach from the situation while observing and figuring out the best route of action. But either way, peace and blessings, and I'll catch you guys in the next reading.